So some people might be fearful of crowds or going out into the community. And there can be many reasons for this. It could be past experiences, and it could be any of their sensory processing difficulties. It could be social difficulties, so don't presume that it's relating to a sensory processing difficulty. However, if someone does have a sensory processing difficulty, there can be many reasons. So it could be the noise. When we go out, there's lots and lots of unpredictable noise. Yes, most of them, if we're outside, are natural, so a little bit easier for our brain to process. But if we are going to a shopping mall, it's really big, it's echoey, there's so many different kinds of sounds. There's technology, so if there's escalators, there's people walking, which then becomes sound, so the vibrations. There's people making lots of sound. There might be prams, buggies, doors that are opening. There might be tannoys, there might be music playing in the shopping centre. So all of those things are extra auditory stimulus which are really unpredictable. So whether they're hyper or hypo, they can still find that really difficult. It might be visual. So when you go out again into the community, there's going to be lots and lots of people, especially if there's crowds. So if there's crowds, there's lots of people moving in front of you that you can't control. You can't necessarily move out of the way. So you might cover your eyes. You might want to duck and hide and withdraw from being in that place. And that can be due to an overstimulation in your visual sense. It might be the tactile sense, so by being close to people, that feeling of being in a busy environment, so busy crowds, is going to stimulate your tactile sense as well. So think about that, especially if they're tactile defensive. It might be relating to their proprioceptive sense, so the awareness of themselves. So in busy crowds, they could become really overwhelmed with all of the people because they're having more stimulation from their proprioceptive sense. People are bumping into them, people are tapping them, people are brushing past them. All of those things are going to give me proprioceptive information. So if I'm hyper-proprioceptive, that's really going to be too much, might be too difficult for me to actually process, for me to be able to be in that environment. It could be smells. Smells are very difficult to control in an environment. With busy crowds, you've got lots and lots of different smells. We've got washing detergents, we've got perfumes, we've got shampoo, we've got food that they've eaten, drinks that they've drank. There's so many smells that are out in the air which we can't control. But for someone with a hypersensitivity to smell, so to olfactory processing, that can be really difficult and overwhelming. And if you think, how easy is it for us to communicate that there's a smell that's bothering us? We might cover our nose or we might gag, but most of the time we'll just say, ugh, that's not very nice. Whereas for someone who might have a communication difficulty as well, they're going to find that really difficult to communicate to you that it's a smell. So they might show it by just dragging or running away, and that's their way of communicating to you that it's just too much for them to cope with. So we need to find ways that we can help to support them. Once you've identified the personal reasons why that person finds it difficult to be in busy crowds or to be in busy environments or even just to be out in the community, we can then support them in a personalised way. And that's the whole aim of sensory processing difficulties. The whole purpose of what I do is to help us to recognise personal needs. The way my senses process is very individualised, very personalised to me. No one else processes their information the same way, just like you. So we need to support everyone in that same way.